Okay, so today's video is a video that I was kind of waiting to talk about. I feel like this happened a few days ago, but a few more updates have come out kind of recently, and yes, now I feel like I'm ready to talk about it. So subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment for engagement, or you will pluck your eyebrows and pluck the wrong hair and you'll have a bald patch in your hair, in your eyebrows. I know that's a very serious threat to make. I'm really serious about this. Social media will be in description along with my beauty channel, my TikTok where I do drama content, kind of like this, but just short format if you want that. So before we get into the tea, today's video is sponsored by Function of Beauty Skincare. So if you want 20% off your new custom skincare and a free headband, then click the link in description. Now let's get into it. Now, just like with the shampoos, they make you fill out a form so that your skincare is suited just for you and your skin type. So my type is combination. I get very dry on the perimeters and oily in the T-zone. My makeup is full coverage, as you can see, and my sensitivity is kind of like a sometimes thing. Like sometimes some things will make me sensitive and some things will not. So my skin goals were to brighten, hydrate, and smooth. So I got my stuff unfragranced. That's just kind of like the simple way I like to go. So I got the jelly cleanser, the serum, and the cream moisturizer. So I've been using the skincare line for about half a year, and I use the cleanser, the serum, and the face cream day and night, and I feel like it has been amazing for wintertime. I started using Function of Beauty skincare right before wintertime hit, and that's when my skin gets dry. And I feel like I just didn't have any of that. The serum is super thin, and it soaks in super well. It's not greasy, it's not sticky, it doesn't feel like it's laying on your skin. It just immediately, after I washed my face and came to my room to apply the serum, it just immediately soaked in. I feel like it was just adding so much hydration right before face cream, and then I basically just laid the face cream on top, and my skin was good to go for the morning. In the morning I woke up and I still had moisturized skin. It was great. So for the goals that I've picked, for brighten, the main key ingredient for that is tangerine extract, which helps to smooth and clarify the outer layer of the skin to let the brightness come out, as well as vitamin C, which is an antioxidant, and it helps to just illuminate and brighten the skin. For hydrate, obviously hyaluronic acid, it's amazing, and blue-green algae. And then for smooth, they use the yuzu extract, which has multitasking properties. It does basically everything, but it has moisturizing properties that keep your skin looking young and fresh and smooth and just hydrated. So I've definitely noticed that my skin is more even. I feel like when I take off my makeup, I'm shocked by how even and hydrated all over it is. There are no dry patches. I didn't struggle with any dryness during wintertime, which is always such a big issue of mine. I always struggle to wear matte foundation in the wintertime, so I always opt for a skin tint because I'm my skin's so dry. And this is the first winter in many years that I've used a matte foundation, matte full coverage all winter. It's because I was so hydrated because of the serum and the face cream. Skincare line is 100% custom, so you get to pick anything you want for your skin needs, your skin goals, and your skin type. Obviously you can target your specific concerns, but it's also just like I mentioned before, it's such a simple routine. You have 3 steps: you clean, you put on a serum, and you put on the face cream, and you're done. It's just super simple. It cuts down on how much waste you have from other skincare products. It cuts down on how long it takes you to do your skincare routine, which means you'll probably be more motivated to actually keep up with your skincare routine. It's dermatologist tested and non-irritating, 100% vegan, cruelty-free, no GMOs, sulfates, toxins, or anything like that. So you can get 20% off your custom skincare routine and a free headband if you click the link in description down below. So thank you to Function of Beauty for sponsoring my video, and now let's get into the tea. Shane Dawson, right, very much cancelled on the internet. So he did multiple inappropriate things that people have been kind of iffy about. They've been bringing up old content that he has posted, just seeing different sides of Shane Dawson that he's been kind of hiding from us. But I mean, they were there, but we just weren't really going back enough to see them until now, until people started digging this stuff up, and it's just been more and more concerning. Now I feel like the one thing people kind of skimmed over is his friendship with Tana Mongeau. Now when Tana Mongeau met him, she was about 17 and he was late 20s or early 30s, which is already kind of inappropriate. He was almost kind of a mentor to her, just kind of guiding her through YouTube, because he was the granddad of YouTube and he was everyone's inspiration. And I feel like that's kind of how he became her mentor. He was I know everything about YouTube, I've been doing this for a long time, you come here, I'll teach you everything. This all kind of deepened their relationship, I feel during TanaCon. So obviously with TanaCon, she put on a convention to spite VidCon, and that all went south because more people than they planned showed up. They didn't have enough space, they didn't have enough entertainment, enough gift bags, they didn't even have water bottles. Everyone was lining up outside. This was quite clearly her fault, but a lot of that was also her being really young and not getting the guidance that she needed to put on a good convention, right? So what happens? Shane Dawson comes to her rescue. And that's when you start to get into weird territory of she kind of owes him now. There is that level of, I owe you, I feel like I owe you my friendship, I owe you loyalty, I owe defending you against everyone, because he did save her career. Like, that was a big turning point for Tana Mongeau. She messed up on multiple occasions, and then when TanaCon happened, that seemed to be the end of her career, and Shane Dawson came in clutch, took all of his loyal fans and said, here is a platform for you to cry on, so that everyone feels bad for you and we can redeem your career. And I feel like at that point, she owes him, right? She's like, I owe you. I'll be loyal to you. Where's this taking me? People have started noticing a few things. Mainly the most popular video on Tana Mongeau's channel, which is I did something on Shane Dawson. I don't think it's inappropriate, but I feel like YouTube's gonna have some kind of an issue with this. But her biggest video on her channel has got like 30 million views, but it's got a bunch of dislikes. A bunch. And if you go under the video now, so it's got 287,000 likes and 50,000 dislikes. So it's more liked than disliked, but it's a lot of dislikes. And actually, there's still ads on that video. Like, that video is monetized. I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know when, I don't know who decided to monetize that video, but somehow it's monetized. So if you read the comments, some of them are from kind of like 8 months ago, which means we kind of missed this. I feel like a lot of people are going back to that video and going, this is strange. And only recently people went on Twitter and voiced their opinions, but I feel like people have been going back to this video and saying, something's not right here. So 8 months ago, this is so much weirder and creepier to watch after everything that's come out about Shane. It's scary how practically nobody saw anything wrong with this when it first came out. Rewatching this now is so weird, especially with all the stuff coming out about Shane. People are like, look, this is like a progress thing, right? Like, it's like this happened and then this happened, and then you're starting to like put the puzzles together, right? With all the stuff coming out about Shane and Willow Smith, Shane and his niece, Shane and his pets, like, you then start to look at everything with a little bit of a skeptical lens, right? Like, if this was inappropriate, what makes this appropriate? And she was much younger than him. I think the general idea was, when she filmed this video, she just turned 18. So she was a fresh 18-year-old with a grown man doing kind of inappropriate things, right? The fact that she was barely 18 when this happened, this literally makes me so uncomfortable still. He keeps saying, you're 18, to justify his creepiness, and he knows it. This is a reoccurring thing. And I feel like because Tana Mongeau kind of like stayed friends with him afterwards and maybe acted like it was okay, everyone just kind of accepted that it was like normal. But now looking back on it, we're like, that's completely not normal. This video is not normal at all, and I feel like everyone accepted it because at the time Shane Dawson was respected and liked, and now that we're seeing a different side to Shane, we're like, well, with everything that's come out, this video is a little bit strange, you know? I missed 20 minutes ago when I didn't know this existed. So then Tana likes a tweet, and she likes multiple tweets. There is a tweet that says, okay, but like, does anyone remember that weird video where Shane Dawson made freshly turned 18-year-old Tana Mongeau something on him? What was that about? And there was another one that says he was even weirdly massaging her stomach to make her fast. You guys just need to watch the video to know what I'm talking about. So she liked those tweets, and that is someone who is now a few years older, more aware of the industry, more aware of her boundaries and her comfort levels, that is now turning around and going, what was that about? That wasn't normal. Why did no one tell me that this wasn't normal? Because I feel like because she was so fresh in LA and she was so fresh to the career, she was so excited about having her YouTube channel, I feel like you can find yourself in situations where you're doing things that you're not really comfortable with, but because it's Shane Dawson, this big, huge creator, you don't want to say no. You feel peer pressured into going, oh yeah, I'm okay with this. I guess I'm all right. And it's kind of also reflecting the situation with Seth and David Dobrik now, right? Like, David Dobrik, this big YouTuber, offers you the world. He's like, I can make you famous, I can give you a career. And Seth, being really uncomfortable with it at the time, doesn't make a fuss, doesn't say anything, stays really quiet, and just goes, I guess I'm just going to have to accept this if I want to have a successful career. And that's not how things should technically be going around here. Just saying. And I feel like this situation with Tana and Shane shows the same thing of a girl just trying to run away from her old life, comes to LA, is trying to have a career, and this man says, I can offer you the world. And even if she's uncomfortable, she's like, well, I'm already here. I don't want to be problematic. I don't want to, cause issues. I don't want to be, annoying. I'm just going to say yes. And then looking back on it now, she's like, that wasn't okay. It's not her fault at all. She was literally 18. Like, 18-year-olds do things sometimes and they can be made to feel uncomfortable, but they're less likely to say stuff than maybe someone a little bit older. She was really young, and that makes it that much worse. So then people started finding other stuff as well. They found clips from his podcast, which are very concerning. Like, there are some inappropriate questions he's asking a teen. She's a teenager, right? She might be an adult in some countries, some states. She might be considered some, but 18, teenager. She's not actually a full-on mentally developed adult, right? For him to be asking her inappropriate questions. I feel like there was just a lot of like exploitation and taking advantage of someone who was quite clearly just like new to the scene and thought, oh, this must just be how things go around here. This must just be normal and I don't want to make a fuss. And then now that she's actually in this job and now that she's actually in this sphere and this like environment, she's like, oh, that's not normal. That is not normal at all, and I want to warn everyone that that is not normal. At least that's what it seems from the tweets that she has liked. I mean, her liking those tweets is her agreeing with those tweets, and that's what many people are saying now. They're like, she liked those tweets for a reason. And then yesterday, actually, she started tweeting and she said, the truth will always win and I'll live by that for life. I don't care if I'm cancelled. I spent years being terrified of telling the truth and people in this industry. I still struggle with it. I'm beginning to realize that just because I'm problematic doesn't mean I don't have a truth and a story and other people are all good, honest. My point being, I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned this year is that the truth always comes out, and I thought about that a lot. The truth always wins, something being afraid of other terrible people just because I've had a scandalous past. I can confidently say I've definitely done a lot of wrong in my life, but I look at half of the things I've seen these other celebrities, creators do, and I'm grateful to know I'm not that. It's not that I'm exposing anyone for anything, I'm just saying. Having the truth on your side and stepping out of a situation and realizing the reality and being grateful you got away but learnt lessons is a great thing. Ridding of toxicity is good. You don't have to be afraid of bad people exposing you if you have the truth. And sometimes just because a person is problematic, you should think about the things they have to say about other people. You might not like someone, but they are behind the scenes in the same space seeing the people you idolize for who they really are. And obviously that is a double-edged sword. A lot of people lie and try to cancel people simply for clout, but that's my point in all of this. The truth is a higher power than evil. And actually, some people then said, okay, with her liking the tweets about Shane and more people kind of talking about the video between Tana and Shane, this could definitely be about Shane Dawson. However, she said, okay, so the last phrase that's like, you might not like someone, but they are behind the scenes in the same space, seeing the people you idolize for who they really are. Now, Shane's not really idolized anymore, and he's not one of those people that hangs out with a lot of YouTubers. So this could be in reference to her when she did hang out with Shane Dawson. But people are now wondering, is this about James Charles? The plot thickens, right? We've seen what happened with James Charles. Now, if you guys need a little recap, James Charles was caught messaging people under the age of 18. He claims that they lied about their age, but regardless, that's still a crime because pictures were exchanged. The whole situation. He recently won a Kids' Choice Award, and after posting an explanation on Twitter, he basically just went back to his everyday life, posting videos, sponsorships, collabs, having other YouTubers still support him. I think it's crazy because I've seen people get cancelled for so much less. And this time James is just like, I just feel like people have been cancelled for way less. Anyway, but he's getting a lot of support right now, so he could be the one that people are idolizing. And actually, him and Tana Mongeau fell out a few years ago and they stopped hanging out, and on multiple occasions they've kind of shaded each other. I remember there was this one like live stream and he said, who should I hang out with on live? And people were saying multiple names. And Tana Mongeau's name came up and he said, oh, not her. And people started making assumptions about who it was. And he said it wasn't about anyone in the chat, that he was kind of delayed with the chat, but people were assuming it's about Tana Mongeau because she was wherever he was at the time with one of his exes. So this could be about James Charles, and with everything coming out right now, maybe she is. And if you look at the situation, right, so James Charles just gets accused of something yet again and people are not believing it. People are just like, you're chasing clout, yada, yada, yada. However, the things she say kind of apply to the situation. They apply to James Charles. Like, I feel like they apply. She says, I can confidently say I've definitely done a lot of wrong in my life, but I look at half of the things I've seen these other celebrities, creators do, and I'm grateful to know I'm not that. It's not that I'm exposing anyone for anything. I'm just saying. So is she seeing more things behind the scenes about some of the creators that we are idolizing? Who's being idolized right now? Who just won a Kids' Choice Award? Who's in a scandal being exposed right now? This could be about James Charles. I feel like she's going on like a little bit of a exposing spree. As petty as that sounds, I don't mean it to sound in a petty way. I'm just saying like she's clearly having a lot of like revelations, and when you come to so many conclusions, you could be laying in bed one day and you're just like, oh my god, had I not put two and two together before? She's probably just thinking about the stuff that she's maybe seen James do at Coachella or different events that she's been with him at, and she's like, oh, interesting. And then with the Shane stuff, she's probably sitting in bed going, oh, that wasn't something that I was ever comfortable with, and I was coerced into making a video that I was uncomfortable making because I thought that's what you're supposed to do as a YouTuber. And that's just coming out now, but she doesn't want to like fully cancel someone or get herself into another scandal, mainly because James is so uncancelable, and at this point Shane is probably not coming back to the internet, or at least not anytime soon, so her filming this video is just like probably too much stress for her for what it's worth. But I feel like she's subtly giving us hints or hint about something, right? But also, oh my god, okay, I was like mind blown when I was going through all these tweets. Who is one of the bigger people talking about James Charles right now and the accusations against James Charles. Trisha Paytas. Now, what is the one argument people are using against Trisha Paytas to discredit her? Oh, she's problematic. She's got a problematic past. Why would we listen to anything she says? And sometimes just because a person's problematic, you should think about the things they have to say about other people. You might not like someone, but they are behind the scenes in the same space, seeing the people you idolize for who they really are. Are things not adding up? 2 + 2 = 4. These tweets sound oddly similar to the situations that are happening right now. I just feel like there has to be something. And then she did post a tweet saying, also my last tweets are a general thought, not aimed at anyone, more so a lot of things. So they're not aimed at one person in specific, but there must be someone coming to her head, coming to mind when she's typing these tweets. Like as she's typing them, she's like, oh, this person, that. So it could be James, it could be Shane, it could be both of them, it could be a bunch of people. So that's just my general thought. I feel like a lot of people right now are thinking this is definitely about Shane or James. That's the kind of like general tweets I've seen. You guys let me know what you think. I feel like I'm leaning towards maybe James on this. I feel like it adds up with Trisha and her being problematic and that whole situation, but it would make sense that it would be Shane as well. I just feel like Shane doesn't really hang out with the YouTubers as much, so there wouldn't be really much for her to see him do unless it was at his house. So I feel like it has to be someone that's more of like a social butterfly, and that seems like James. Would she be talking about him right now? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I feel like this is so fascinating and it just seems so out of the blue, but it just makes sense that she's coming to these realizations now after not being friends with the people that she used to be friends with, right? Because when she was friends with them, she wanted to defend them, and now she's like, I don't care about defending you. And that actually came out when Shane Dawson was being cancelled during By Sister. Keemstar tweeted at Tana and was like, he saved your career, why are you not defending him? And she basically was just like, leave me out of it. And that's when I realized, I was like, she feels like, you know what, I've done my deed, I don't owe you anymore, I don't want to be involved. And that's when I first started thinking about it. I was like, Tana Mongeau of all people, the problematic one, right? She's a problematic YouTuber, is cutting off Shane. And then I remembered the video and I was like, oh, makes sense. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time something happens. Hit that bell to be notified when that's happening. Social media links, any other links in the description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.